Delegated legislation. Go ahead, Wandai.
Yes, Honorable Speaker, I want to refer you to the provisions of Article 93, sub-article 2 of the Constitution, very, very briefly. And if you allow me, I'll read. The National Assembly and the Senate shall perform their respective functions in accordance with the Constitution. Honorable Speaker, if you go further to Article 108, Honorable Speaker, of the Constitution, especially 108 sub-article 1, where it clearly provides that there shall be a leader of the majority party and a leader of the minority party. It goes further at sub-article 3, Honorable Speaker, to say that the leader of the minority party shall be the person who is the leader in the National Assembly of the second largest party or coalition of parties. But finally, at sub-article 4, it provides the order of precedence in the National Assembly, which is obvious, Honorable Speaker. It's the Speaker, the leader of majority, and the leader of minority. Honorable Speaker, pursuant to these provisions, the Parliamentary Service Commission has proceeded to facilitate these offices, and particularly the office of the leader of the minority party, which I am privileged to occupy as we speak, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, part of the facilitation of that office is the enabling of the office to hire officers. As a matter of fact, the Commission has facilitated my office to hire officers. In fact, it has hired for me officers to serve in the office of the leader of the minority party, to enable that office to perform its functions effectively, Honorable Speaker. And I believe that is the case with the office of the leader of the majority party and other offices in the National Assembly. Honorable Speaker, one of the officers in my office is the person holding the office of the policy analyst. Honorable Speaker, the policy analyst in the office of the leader of minority party plays a very, very crucial role in enabling the holder of that office to perform his work. Honorable Speaker, on the eve of today's sitting, specifically this morning, Honorable Speaker, at 2:20 a.m. this morning, I was called by the policy analyst in the office of the minority leader, one Gabriel Owiti Oguda. Gabriel Owiti Oguda. That is the policy analyst in the office of the leader of minority. He called me this morning under distress that there were people, in fact he called them cops. I think cops means policemen. At his gate, breaking into his compound. The issues I'm raising are so serious that I want to request my brother Pukose to be patient. Honorable Speaker, Mr. Gabriel Oguda called me at 2:20 a.m. this morning, informing me that there are people at his gate who were breaking into his compound. No sooner had he called me, Honorable Speaker, I mobilized lawyers to try and attend to his situation. But within no minute, Honorable Speaker,
Members, order. I need to hear.
Honorable Speaker, 10 minutes after Mr. Oguda called me, my phone calls were jammed. I was unable to call nor to receive calls until about 6:30 this morning. Honorable Speaker, in the ensuing period, these persons actually broke the gate of Honorable Oguda's compound, went further to break his door, and abducted him. Up to this moment I'm speaking here, we do not know the whereabouts of Mr. Oguda. who is an officer in the office of the leader of the minority party, an officer who is supposed to make our work possible, happening on the eve of this very special day, Honorable Speaker, we don't take it lightly. And I want to explain further, Honorable Speaker. The persons who abducted Mr. Oguda are not known, even though in his phone call to me at 2:20 a.m., he indicated they were policemen. We have looked in all police stations in Nairobi and environs. He is nowhere to be seen. We don't know where they kill him or they are holding him in Communicado somewhere. Honorable Speaker, we do not know. Honorable Speaker, Article 29 of the Constitution of the Republic of Kenya protects the right to freedom of every Kenyan citizen. Indeed, even the rights of arrested persons are protected in the Constitution at Article 49, Honorable Speaker. As a matter of fact, nobody is supposed to be arrested without being informed as to why he is being arrested. The Constitution goes further to provide for rights of detained persons. If you are arrested for whatever reason and you are detained, you have got a right to access the services of advocates or lawyers. Up to this morning, up to this moment I'm speaking, the lawyers that I was able to assemble have not been able to access Mr. Oguda, wherever he is. So what am I saying? What I'm saying, Honorable Speaker, is that this cannot be treated as business as usual. It is the same manner somebody or people can abduct officers assigned to the office of the Speaker. That would be an affront to the independence of the institution of Parliament, Honorable Speaker. Parliament is an independent institution, and this House is not complete without one side of the House. This House is only complete with the majority side and the minority side. Honorable Speaker, before I conclude, let me say this. Some of us have walked this journey, and you know, these are not things that are new to us. But it will be unfortunate if this country were to regress to the dark old days, which we have been accustomed to, and some of us have been victims of. Honorable Speaker, a trend is now emerging of abductions of people in this country by people who we do not know. I am being told this morning from some sources that there is a unit already already established in the police service, and that unit is reporting to nobody. They are reporting to nobody. They are a law unto themselves.
He is on a point.
They are abducting Kenyans.
Wind up.
I am on a point of order.
Wind up.
What is itching, Honorable Sirma?
Order, honorable members. Order. Order.
So can I allow him to prosecute my case? He seems to know more.
I'm hearing what. Go on. I'm hearing what you are saying.
Yeah, this is.
Clerk, you can improve the sound system.
Honorable Speaker, I was in this house. I was in this house in the 12th Parliament when members, especially some of them sitting that side, were crying here. Were crying here over these abductions. I can tell you, Honorable Speaker, the shoe could be on the other side of the foot. But these are the same things, Honorable Speaker. What is good for the goose must certainly be good for the gander. I can tell you. And therefore, will I be right, Honorable Speaker, to request you that before we proceed, you use your powers under the Constitution to compel whoever has abducted the officer in the office of the leader of minority to be produced before we can proceed. Otherwise, this House will continue to be under siege, and we cannot operate under intimidation. Personally, you can't.
You've made a point. Thank you. Minority Leader, you've made your point. Give him 1 minute to conclude. You are now not complaining, you are making a speech.
If anybody thought that they can intimidate members of Parliament, let me assure them, at least personally, I can never be intimidated. You will never intimidate me.
You've made your point, Wandai.
And therefore, I demand on behalf of my coalition.
That is
that
extra
the
material
officer
that's
is
unnecessary.
released, or at the very worst, taken to court and charged with all offenses he has committed.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Majority Leader? No. Order, Honorable.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, I think the issue being raised by the minority leader is an important matter that we should deal with, and that is, Honorable Speaker, I was pleading with my colleagues here to allow the leader to make his point. Because this is a house where we should all conduct ourselves with some decorum, so that the leader makes his point. Because as he says, today could be an officer serving in his office. Tomorrow, it could be an officer serving in the office of the Honorable Rindikiri or the Honorable Kimani Ichungwah. Therefore, Honorable Speaker, none of us, Honorable Speaker, if you can protect me from the likes of Honorable Kagombe,
Karemba,
and Kawanjiko, who are all up on their feet.
Order. Order, Honorable Karemba. Take your seat.
Honorable Speaker, I was saying none of us in this House would tolerate that kind of conduct that the leader of minority has said. But, Honorable Speaker, I'll be cautious to use words like abductions or kidnap. Honorable Speaker, all that probably I could commit is to check first with the Inspector General of Police whether the police are holding the said officer, and also to investigate what would have happened, who these particular people are, because even when I listened to the Honorable Pio, even him, it's not clear to him whether these were policemen or otherwise. But, Honorable Speaker, let me say this, that when this administration took over the reins of leadership in this country, Honorable Speaker, none other than President William Ruto committed that the days of finding Kenyans being abducted and killed and their bodies dumped in River Yala or River Tana, we are beyond those days. And I want to assure you and assure the country that that shall never happen in this country. A situation where Kenyans are abducted and their bodies are later fished out from rivers, it will never happen. And that is, Honorable Speaker, not also to say that if it were the police, Honorable Speaker, not just officers of the Parliamentary Service Commission serving in our offices, even ourselves as members of Parliament. And I'm sure there are many, even on this side of the coalition, who have fallen victim of arrests, justifiably by the police. And when the police arrest you, they will book you into an OB, lock you in a non-police station, and you will be produced in court or released if they have no reasons to charge you, Honorable Speaker. Therefore, let us also not create the impression that those of us working in Parliament or are parliamentarians, we are immune to the law. None of us is immune to the law. And we should all and must all be treated equally under the law. Whether we are members of Parliament, whether I am the leader of majority, whether the Honorable Pio is the leader of minority, if myself and the Honorable Pio run into problems with the law will take its course. But we must be arrested, produced in court in line with that law, Honorable Speaker. And therefore, let me just commit, Honorable Speaker, as soon as we are done, I will check with the Inspector General of Police whether the said officer, I'll get the details from the Honorable Pio, is in the hands of the police, so that we avoid speculation and any things that we may be saying of abductions, kidnaps, and of those manner of things. If he has been arrested by the police, we'll get to know why he has been arrested, if he's being charged for what offenses, and Honorable Speaker, that I can only confirm once we get in touch with the police. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Order, honorable members. Order. Order, honorable members. I have heard what the minority leader has said. In the context of the Constitution and the law, he's right. And I've heard what the majority leader has responded. I am not privy to any of those facts. You know that you have immunity as members of parliament. Nobody can arrest you or serve you with any court processes within the precincts of parliament. Your staff will be protected under my watch. We will not protect those who break the law, obviously, because even as members of parliament, we are not above the law. If you commit any crime out there, the speaker can only wish you well. But if they come to arrest you in parliament, the speaker will stop it. I will direct the majority leader to get in touch with the IG and find out about the officer working in the minority leader's office and report back to me within the next 1-2 hours. And Honorable Wandai, I'll be able to communicate. Thank you. Order. Next order.
Order number 6, notices of motion. Order number 7, questions and statements. Order number 8, motion, alteration of the calendar of the House.
Majority Leader.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, I beg to move that pursuant to the provision of Standing Order 228-4, this House resolves to alter its calendar for the third session, regular sessions, as adopted on the House on Wednesday, 14th February 2024, by varying the period for the short recess with respect to the second part of the session